Trade unions in Norway have a rich history deeply rooted in the country's industrial development and social movements. Here is an overview of the history of trade unions in Norway. Early beginnings, late 19th century. Trade unions in Norway emerged in the late 19th century, influenced by the growing labor movements in Europe. The rapid industrialization during this period led to poor working conditions and low wages for workers, prompting them to organize for better rights and representation. Formation of labor organizations. Norwegian Confederation of Trade Unions, LO. Established in 1899, LO is the largest and most influential trade union federation in Norway. It played a crucial role in uniting various unions across different industries. Other trade union movements alongside LO, various sector-specific unions formed, representing workers from industries like mining, fishing, forestry and more. Workers engaged in strikes and protests to demand better pay, reduced working hours and improved working conditions. One of the notable events was the Lysaker Hovedgard conflict in 1911, where workers fought for better wages and were met with violent resistance from authorities. The general strike in 1918. This strike, involving over 100,000 workers, was a significant event that led to concessions from the government and improved working conditions. Trade unions in Norway have historically wielded considerable political influence. They've played a role in shaping labor laws, social policies, and the overall welfare state in Norway. The Norwegian model emphasizes cooperation between trade unions, employers, and the government. This collaboration, known as the tripartite cooperation, has been crucial in decision-making on labor issues, social welfare, and economic policies. Norwegian trade unions continue to advocate for workers' rights, wages, job security, and improved working conditions. With changes in the labor market, unions have adapted their strategies to represent workers in diverse sectors, including technology, healthcare, and service industries. Historically, Norway has had relatively high union membership rates compared to other countries. Unions in Norway are structured at various levels, local, regional, and national, to represent workers' interests effectively. The history of trade unions in Norway showcases a commitment to workers' rights, a collaborative approach to decision-making, and a significant impact on shaping the country's social and labor policies. The Norwegian model refers to a socio-economic system characterized by cooperation and negotiation between labor unions, employers, and the government. This model has played a pivotal role in shaping Norway's welfare state and economic policies. It has several key components. Tripartite cooperation. The Norwegian model emphasizes collaboration between trade unions, employers' organizations, and the government. This tripartite system ensures that major decisions regarding labor market policies, social welfare, and economic matters are made through negotiations and consensus building among these stakeholders. Central to the Norwegian model is the practice of collective bargaining. Trade unions negotiate wages, working conditions, and other employment-related issues collectively on behalf of their members. These negotiations occur at various levels: national, industry-specific, and at the enterprise level. Continuous dialogue and negotiation between labor unions and employers foster trust and understanding, allowing for the resolution of conflicts and the development of policies that benefit both workers and employers. The Norwegian model heavily emphasizes a comprehensive welfare state. High-quality public services such as healthcare, education, childcare, and social security are provided to ensure a high standard of living for all citizens. Social policies aim to reduce inequality and provide a safety net for those in need. The model strives to balance flexibility and security in the labor market. While maintaining flexibility to adapt to economic changes, it also ensures job security, strong workers' rights, and social protections for employees. The Norwegian government actively invests in training, education, and measures to facilitate re-employment for workers facing job loss or transitions in industries. Norway historically had high rates of unionization, contributing significantly to the strength and influence of the labor movement within the Norwegian model. The Norwegian model has contributed to the country's economic stability, relatively low unemployment rates, high standard of living, and a strong social safety net. It's often seen as an example of successful cooperation between different stakeholders in promoting economic growth while safeguarding workers' rights and social welfare. Frontfage refers to a concept in the Norwegian labour market that translates to the front industry or lead industry negotiations. It holds significance in the context of wage negotiations and collective agreements in Norway. The term lead industry negotiations emerged during a historical period when certain industries, particularly the manufacturing sector, played a leading role in setting the benchmark for wage agreements and conditions for the broader labour market. This industry's negotiations and settlements would often serve as a reference point for other sectors when determining their own wage increases and employment conditions. The lead industry negotiations concept, closely related to the Norwegian Basic Agreement, essentially denotes a leading industry or sector that takes the forefront in initial wage negotiations. The agreements reached in this industry are often influential in shaping subsequent negotiations in other sectors. The concept gained prominence due to the idea that certain key industries, particularly those heavily unionized and with substantial bargaining power, would set the standards for wage increases and other terms of employment. This practice aimed to ensure consistency and prevent excessive wage disparities across various sectors of the economy. However, it's important to note that the influence and direct relevance of the lead industry negotiations concept in modern Norwegian labour negotiations might have evolved over time, considering changes in the structure of the economy, the diversity of industries, and alterations in collective bargaining practices. Nevertheless, the historical significance of the lead industry negotiations remains in the Norwegian labour context as a representation of an influential industry whose negotiated terms historically set the pace and standards for wage agreements and employment conditions across different sectors of the economy.